Hello, everyone, and good evening. So thanks for joining us tonight for some guided meditation as well as words of Dhamma from Bhante Sumitta, who's visiting us here at Empty Cloud Monastery for about a month. So we're very grateful and fortunate to benefit from his teachings for the whole month, but especially tonight. And good evening so far to Poonam, Roy, Ron, Jens, Lucas, Kumu, Geeta, Melinda, Denise, Mike, and Jayanta. So good to see everyone, and welcome as well to others who are just viewing without typing in the chat just yet. So at this time, I'll pass things over to Bhante Sumitta for tonight's teaching.
Samanta Cakkavalesu Atra Gaccantu Devata Saddhammang Munirajasa Sunantu Sagga Mokkhadan Dhamma Savana Kalo Ayang Bhadanta Dhamma Savana Kalo Ayang Bhadanta Dhamma Savana Kalo Ayang Bhadanta. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Ekang amtang nisinnassa ko yasassa kulaputtassa Bhagavānupubbiṁ kathaṁ kathesi seyadhidang dāna kathaṁ sīla kathaṁ sagga kathaṁ kāmānaṁ ādīnavaṁ okāraṁ saṅkhilēsaṁ Nekkhaṁ me ānisaṁsaṁ pakāsesi yada bhagavāññāse yasaṁ kulaputtam kalla cittaṁ mudu cittaṁ vinivarana cittaṁ udagga cittaṁ pasanna cittaṁ Athavā buddhā athaya buddhānaṁ sāmukkhang sikā dhamma desanā taṁ pakāsesi dukkhaṁ samudayam nirodhaṁ maggaṁ ti. Good evening, everyone, and let me at the very outset express my gratitude to Empty Cloud Buddhist Monastery, Bhante Sudaso, Aya Soma, and Samanera Sumano, and all the wonderful community here for welcoming me to this beautiful, wonderful, spiritual Buddhist Institute. So I'm going to start off with a series of Dhamma talks, and the topic I just recited here today, and I'm going to start with the Dana kathaṁ, the story of Dana. And prior to that, let's get started with the traditional Buddhist guided meditation here. We will do a short guided meditation. I will guide you through a simple metta meditation, loving kindness. Please settle on your seats. Sit comfortably. Straighten your back. Relax your shoulders. Straighten your head. Keep one palm on the other. Rest them on your lap or rest them on your knees as you like. And gently and compassionately close your eyes. Relax your eyebrows. Let's take a good long deep breath and hold it for a few seconds and then slowly release and relax. Let's do it one more time together. Take a long deep breath and hold it for a few seconds and then slowly release and relax. Let's do it one more time. This time we will take more time in breathing out. Relax and release both bodily and mentally. And then we will listen to our own breath. We will observe our own breath. When we breathe in, the incoming breath touches the nostril. And when we breathe out, the outgoing breath touches the upper lip before leaving the body. So let us focus in between these 2 points. Let's establish our mindfulness in between these 2 points. Let us observe without controlling the breath. Let us be mindful of our own breath. Let us listen to our own breath. Sometimes the breath can be longer. Let us recognize it, identify it without judging, without controlling. Sometimes it can be shorter. Let us recognize it, identify it. Every single breath is a life giver to us. We breathe in the positive energy along with the oxygen, and we breathe out the toxic energy, the negative energy, along with the carbon dioxide. So it's a natural healing process of our body. If we pay more attention to that, a magic, a wonder can happen. That not only body that it can clean, but also the mind that we can clean through this breathing process. So with this incoming positive energy, let us now radiate loving kindness. Let us practice loving kindness meditation, metta bhavana, starting with ourselves, starting from the top of the head all the way to the tip of the toes. Let us slowly scan our body. Try to recognize the different parts of the body as much as you know, both internal and external organs. Can slowly scan down. While scanning, if you find any tight spot, any discomfort, any painful area in your body, stay there for a while and heal that spot. Maybe you can use this formula to heal that. May I be well and happy and healthy. May I be well and happy and healthy. May I be well and happy and healthy. You can heal those difficult areas in your body by generating and focusing with that positive energy. And then slowly scan the entire body. Let us radiate loving kindness to ourselves first. May I be well and happy and healthy. May I be well and happy and healthy. May I be well and happy and healthy. May no harm come to me. May no anger come to me. May no hatred come to me. May no jealousy come to me. May no fear come to me. May I be well and happy and healthy. May I be well and happy and healthy. May I be well and happy and healthy. Then we will radiate this loving kindness to all the wonderful practitioners who are meditating with us right here, right now, or the empty crowd, monastics, the community, those wonderful monks and nuns and all the lay devotees who are practicing with here, right now, in this premises. And also those wonderful friends who are joining us online from different parts of the world. Let us radiate loving kindness to all of them as well. May all those seen and unseen, devas and other beings who might be meditating with us today, we will radiate loving kindness to all of them as well. May they all be well and happy and healthy. May they all be well and happy and healthy. May they all be well and happy and healthy. May no harm come to them. May no anger come to them. May no hatred come to them. May no jealousy come to them. May no fear come to them. May they all be well and happy and healthy. May they all be well and happy and healthy. May they all be well and happy and healthy. Now let us radiate loving kindness to everyone around, all those seen and unseen, all sentient beings within this premises and around this area, in the neighborhood, all the people around here, all the people in this city, in this county, in this state, in this country, in this continent, and beyond this continent, in different parts of the world, every nook and corner of the world, all men and all women, all children and all elders, all humans and all non-humans, near and far, short and long, all sentient beings, devas and brahmas in the celestial beings, and the other sentient beings in the lower realms, and all sentient beings, seen and unseen, skybound, earthbound, waterbound, every sentient being. May all these sentient beings be well and happy and healthy. May all these sentient beings be well and happy and healthy. May all these sentient beings be well and happy and healthy. May no harm come to them. May no anger come to them. May no hatred come to them. May no jealousy come to them. May no fear come to them. May they all be well and happy and healthy. May they all be well and happy and healthy. May they all be well and happy and healthy. Let us practice this meditation for a few more minutes silently on our own. Please keep your palms together close to your heart and say 3 times, Sadhu, Sadhu, Sadhu. Now gently open your eyes with a more compassionate heart, with the loving kindness and positive energy towards everyone else in the world and looking at the brighter side of the world.
So thank you, Bhante, for guiding us in meditation, and to some other friends joining in. So hello to Joy, Tara, Shadow of Label, and good evening to some more viewers who have popped in the meantime. So at this time, I'll pass things over to Bhante Sumitta for tonight's Dhamma talk.
Hello everyone, one more time, and thank you again for this opportunity to share the Dhamma with you. And today I'm going to start with the story of Dana Katha. Bhante Sudaso actually sent me an email and he just sent me the Pali text. Dana kathaṁ, sīla kathaṁ, sagga kathaṁ, kamānaṁ ādīnavaṁ, okaraṁ sankhilesaṁ, and the rest. So those will be the points of discussion in the coming days. And I went through this topic, and the beginning point we have here in Mahāvagga Pali Vinaya Pitaka. And it's really very interesting story about how Yasa, how he encountered with the Buddha, and he also had the similar experience like Prince Siddhartha at his home. He also had all the luxurious lifestyle, 3 different palaces, and then he was enjoying his life there. And then one day he also had the similar experience like Prince Siddhartha, and he decided to go out, and he directly came to the Buddha. And Buddha was actually walking meditation in the sky, and he saw Vyasa coming towards him. He went down and waiting for him, and then he gave Dhamma talk, paid respect to the Buddha, and sat by the side of the Buddha, and Buddha gave him this Bhagava Anupubbiṁ kathaṁ katesi. The fortunate one, the blessed one, spoke about the gradual teaching. I think Bhikkhu Bodhi is translating it as graduation exposition or something. But Anupubbiṁ kathaṁ is gradual teaching. So Buddha has different styles of teaching, and he started with lay people with Anupubbiṁ kathaṁ like this. But he would start talking to the monks. If there is an assembly of monks and nuns, he would directly talk to them with some deeper Dhamma discussions. But for the lay people, if he find like sometimes he gets some business people coming in, and he was also from a royal family. Lots of people from influential families used to come to the Buddha, and then he used to talk to them in their own style, and he was very comfortable in talking to people too, because of his that, I think, upbringing. So here the Buddha is talking to him with Dana kathaṁ, Sīla kathaṁ, Sagga kathaṁ. Talk about giving, Dana kathaṁ. And Sīla kathaṁ, talk about virtue. Sagga kathaṁ, talk about heaven. Sagga is heaven. Kāmānaṁ ādīnavaṁ, okaraṁ sankhilesaṁ. Adinava is danger in, and also the degradation and defilement of sensual desires. That is the next point he was. So slowly he was starting. He didn't talk about those things at the very beginning. People would be scared if you talk about those things. So he was slowly starting with, okay, start simple with giving, working with charity and maybe doing some precepts, observing some precepts. They are really wonderful ways to start with. And then if you do something like that, maybe you will be born in heavenly realms or something. So he knew exactly how to address to those people, not like us. We don't know when the audience is right in front of us. They have so many different ideas. We don't know. So we just keep talking with the same thing. But Buddha knew exactly how to address to different people. Their attitude, their mentality, their capacity, he knew it very well. And then he would also talk about nekkamme anisansa. He first talked about karma anangadinavang, danger and degradation of sensual desires. And then he would also talk about the benefit of giving, letting go these things, and renunciation. That's called nikkamma. Nikkammati in Pali is to renounce or leave. Letting go, we call it, right? Yada bhagava anyasi yasmin kulaputtang kalla chittang muddu chittang vinivarana chittang udagga chittang pasanna chittang. These are really good words. The Buddha says when he knows that when he talks these things, that the person's mindset is different, changing gradually. He knows exactly how to address that. Okay, this person's mind is now ready. Kalla chittang, ready mind. Then Mudu Chittang, pliable mind. Mudu is soft, gentle. And Vinivarana Chittang, open mind. Okay. And Udagga Chittang is uplifted mind. You get some kind of a stimulus when you listen to those beautiful talks. Okay. Yes. You have that energy, slowly boosting your energy. The Buddha had that capacity to boost their energy in such a way. And Udagga Chittang and Pasanna Chittang, uplifted mind and confident mind. When you are very confident, when you are in the uplifted mood, then the Buddha would give them the real medicine. And then he would say, Ataya Buddhanang Samukkansika Dhammadesana Tampakasesi. This Samukkansika means the teaching of the awakened ones. This is the Buddha's teaching. He would not talk about these things right away, directly at the very beginning. He would take his time, he would buy his time, he would wait for the right moment, and then he would give that Dhamma talk. What is this Samukkansika Dhamma Desana? Dukkhang, Samudayang, Nirodhang, and Magga. Four noble truths. The truth of suffering. And then he would not stop there. He would also talk about the cause of suffering, the root cause of suffering. And then he would also talk about how to get rid of that suffering. That is the Nirodha Satya. That is the Nibbana. Nibbana is not to be born in a different realm. It is the absence of that root cause, that is Tanha. Nibbana or Nirvana or Nirvana means absolute, complete absence of Tanha or craving or all sorts of attachments or desires. And he would not stop there too. He would also talk about the path leading to that cessation of suffering. I think this is the way he was talking. All these suttas give the very essence of the whole discussion. We can't unfortunately have the entire discussion. We don't have the YouTube or recordings of all those things. And so we have the very essence of those discussions recorded by the wonderful monks for the benefit of all of us. And then he see how the mind of Venerable, Yasa, the young man Yasa, Kulaputta Yasa man, his mind changes. How did it happen? And on that seat itself, he had Virajang, dust-free. Vita malang, malang is stain. So Vita malang, stainless. Dhamma chakkung udapadi. Already we have a chakku, eye, but Dhamma chakku is a different eye that appeared to him, that arose in him. He knew exactly what he was looking for. He has been yearning for this. He had been searching for this for such a long time, but couldn't find. And Buddha opened that eye for him. And that's how he became. So how I think this also is important to say. Yankinchi samudaya dhamma, sabbantang nirodha dhamma. So if something appears, if there is something, the nature of arising, and that also has the innate quality of that nature of ceasing. Yankinchi samudaya dhamma. Everything that appears is conditioned to be disappeared. That was the very essence, the quintessential essence of the Dhammachakku. And so Yasa became so happy, so glad. And then he said he wanted to become a part of this path. And what happened, the story goes on back home. Yasa's mother, she came in the morning to see the son is missing. and then the messengers were sent for all the 4 directions on horse ride, and they couldn't find. And the father himself was walking. He was walking to the Jetavana, the monastery here. And then Buddha saw him coming, and then he had very special. I think Buddha does not normally use these mystic powers. He used this mystic power here so that Yasa's father could not see the son. Yasa's father could not see so they didn't see each other. Buddha was talking to Yasa's father, saw the slippers, the golden slippers of the son. He recognized immediately, my son is here. And he asked, did you see my son? The Buddha said, yes, he's here. And then Buddha was talking to him the same language. Dana kathaṁ, sila kathaṁ, sagga kathaṁ, kāmānaṁ, ādīnavaṁ, all these things. And then when his mind was also like odagga cittaṁ, pasanna cittaṁ, then he gave him the Dhamma talk. Now the same Dhamma talk was given to him, and 2 different people, they were grasping it in different levels. Already Yasa was aware of that, but he could go deeper into that, more fathom into that teaching, and he realized the Dhamma, and he became Arahanta. So from Sotapanna to Arahanta he became. And then Yasa's father became Sotapanna. His Dhammachakku also opened. And now what happened? Now the Buddha removed that mystic magical power to cover Yasa, and both of them see each other. And then Yasa was saying, Buddha knew now Yasa does not want to go back, See how he rescued people. If he allowed him to go, maybe he would go back to his homely life. But rather, he would use his magical power to rescue this man, because he was almost about to blossom. He was almost about to blossom. That was the triggering point that he was waiting for. Buddha knew that. And so he was waiting. He gave him the opportunity, buying time for him. And then now father is also Sotapanna, nothing to worry. And then he said, your son is there. And then the father said, your mother and wife, Purana Dutika, your wife, they are waiting. They are very worried about you. and please go and help them. And the Buddha said, he did not talk to them, he was looking at the Buddha. It is said the Buddha, Bhagavantang Olokes, it is said. And then Buddha said, you know what, when somebody is in this kind of a state, it's not possible that he would go. You understand that. And he has already renounced this homely life, mundane life, secular life. He's already opened his eyes, Dhamma Chakku. He has attained the perfect enlightenment here. He is an enlightened being, Arahanta person now. So there is no possibility for him to go and enjoy that worldly life, he said. And then he was very happy too. He was very happy. Oh, I'm so happy my son has got that opportunity. But may I also be declared as a devotee, lifetime devotee of the Buddha Dhamma Sangha. This is the first time. He is the first Tevachika Upasaka, Buddha Dhamma Sangha. And before that it is said two, I think those merchants, they were the Devachika Upasaka. There was no Sangha before. And now there are 7 monks in the 7 Arahantas in the world. 5 Buddha, the 5 disciples, and Yasa. And then later on, Yasa's mother and his former wife, they also, when Buddha and Yasa were invited to have lunch, dana there at home, so Buddha gave the same Dhamma talk, dana kathaṁ, sila kathaṁ, and then they also become Sotapanna. They became Tevachika Upasakas. And so Yasa's inclusion into the Sangha is really, really very important, because followed by him, the other 4, Vimala, Subahu, Punnaji, Gavampati, 4 friends, they also join. They also come the same way. Buddha gave the same treatment. They also become Sotapanna. They want to follow the path of their wonderful friend, and they become monks. Now more monks, and then again 50 people, friends joining. The story was like viral. And so everyone in the city was talking about Vyasa's becoming a monk and shaving off his head and wearing the white saffron cloth, and then those 50 friends also becoming. And now we have 60 monks, 60 Arahanta monks in the world. This is called the first Dhammaduta mission. And the Buddha said, Buddha asked them to go forward and help the other, work for the benefit of the many. And Buddha says, Ma ekena dve agamitta, do not walk 2 people in the same walking way. Rather you use 2 people, use two ways, so that you can reach to more people. That's how those 60 monks were spreaded everywhere. They were walking every nook and corner of their path, and then they preached the Dhamma. And that's how the beginning of this Sangha and the Dhamma started to happen. So let's talk about Dana Kathaṁ. And I'm really happy that Bhante Sudaso gave me this topic. So Dana Kathaṁ is an interesting topic again, and how Dana Katha is explained in many, many places. For many people, like mundane, worldly people, if we say, live out the homely life and, shave off your head, and they won't do it. They wouldn't really like it. But rather Buddha said, practice charity, practice giving, share your property with someone else, do your business, that's fine. Do it in the right manner, righteous manner, that's fine. And share some of those portions with those who are in need of it. That was the Buddha's advice. So Anathapindika was a millionaire. Okay, maybe he was like a modern day Bill Gates, and he was a very rich man. And Buddha said he became a Sotapanna person. He did not stop his business. He continued to do business, but he continued to help the other people. Anathapindika is the one who used to feed anathas, homeless. So his home was open all the time. He gave food to many, many, many visiting monks and lay people. His real name was Sudatta. Sudatta also means good giver, right? But his nickname was more famous, Anatha Pindika. And so giving or letting go or sharing with our things with others is a really, really amazing thing. And I would like to share with you this sutta. Maybe if I have time, I will discuss more about that. Is called Dakkina Vibhanga Sutta, and this is Majjhima Nikaya 142nd Sutta. It's also a very interesting story, actually. I think I would make the background story short. This is happened when Mahapajapati, Buddha's stepmother, she herself made a robe and she gave it to the Buddha. Buddha said, "Don't give it to me, give it to the Sangha." And she asked again, "Please accept, I made it just for you." The Buddha said, "Don't give it to me, give it to the Sangha." She again asked, reiterated. I think Venerable Sudha saw yesterday, but he said, we have to ask 3 times to be confident. When you ask 3 times, it's like a confirmation. And this is a tradition. And then Venerable Ananda was looking at that and he was intervening. The Blessed One, please accept it. She is your stepmother. When Mahamaya, your mother, passed away after 7 days of your birth, she was the one taking care of everything. Please accept it. Buddha said, I'm doing the right thing, Ananda. You should give it to the Mahasangha. When you give it to Mahasangha, Mahasangha includes me as well. So the merit is more powerful. Okay, before going ahead, I would like to ask our friends who are online one question. Okay, now there is a situation where the Buddha is giving a dana to Venerable Sariputta. And Venerable Sariputta is giving a dana to Buddha. Okay, assuming. So what is the more meritorious activity? What is the more powerful good karma? Please comment on the comments below. Venerable Sumano will share it with us later on. Okay. So what happens here? The Buddha is talking about 14 kinds of dana. 14 kinds of dana. Personal danas are there. Those personal danas are, I think, very important. I will just go through them according to the sutta. We give them. So one gives a gift to the Tathagata, accomplished and fully enlightened. This is the first kind of personal offering. If you give something to the Buddha, that would be the most meritorious activity that you can do. The gift that is most powerful. You can give it to any person, that would be the Buddha, the first thing. But if you don't have it, maybe you can give it to Pacheka Buddha, another one. That is the number 2. And then the Arahanta person, is the other one. And then we go to anagami, non-returner, and then sakadagami, once returner, and sotapatti. And if you give dana to another person, that would be the other people who practice the Dhamma, free from lust, sensual desire, pleasures, and then also virtuous ordinary person, and then immoral ordinary person. We can also give dana to such people, and also give something to an animal. Buddha has not forgotten even animals. All inclusive, 14 kinds of personal danas are there. In the sutta, actually, the Buddha explains how when you give dana to all different people, how the benefit is generated. That karma will be very powerful, especially when you can give a dana to a stream enterer or a sotapanna. The merit can be immeasurable, let alone the merit that you can generate by offering it to a Tathagata Buddha. That would be so much powerful. That's why in our Buddhist temples, in our Buddhist traditions, we also offer something to the Buddha. Maybe a simple plain water, maybe some food, maybe some flower. You think, you visually imagine that the living Buddha is right in front of you. So the most important thing is your pure heart, good intention, that you do it with that good intention. And that can, give also a kind of habit. And also it's very good way to make merits. And then there are 7 kinds of offerings to the Sangha. One, if we have an opportunity to give a dana to the Buddha and the bhikkhus and bhikkhunis, that is the best dana if we can give. And then at the passing away of the Buddha, we can give dana to the bhikkhus and bhikkhunis. And then we can give a dana to the bhikkhus or give a dana to the bhikkhunis. Number 5, we also have appoint so many bhikkhus and bhikkhunis for me from the Sangha. We can do that way also. And then appoint so many bhikkhus and appoint so many bhikkhunis. And this is how the 7th kind of dana happen. And so today we can work on that depending on the situation. And then there are 4 kinds of purification of offering. What are those 4 kinds of purification? Offering that is purified by the giver. Giver is called dayaka. Okay. And the other one is the receiver. Let's say there is an offering that is purified by the giver. Dayaka is very good person. He or she is very pure, very good, very virtuous, morally very strong. That person is giving dana to someone, maybe not necessarily very virtuous. Okay. But because of the dayaka's purification, that dana becomes very good, very powerful. And then the other side, the receiver is purified, and then the dayaka also, giver also becomes purified. And then both of them are not good. They are both not virtuous. And then the Buddha said, it is the third category. And the last one is both sides are pure. Both sides are virtuous and very powerful. So you can see, and what is the offering that is purified by the giver, no by the receiver. Here the giver is virtuous, of good character, and the receiver is immoral, of evil character. Thus the offering is purified by the giver, not by the receiver. So it goes like that. And then the last category, both the giver and the receiver, when they are pure, that merit is so much powerful. This is the very essence of the sutta. Now I would like to say more about the dana. Okay, do we have the answer?
We have a couple answers. Do you want to hear those thoughts?
Yeah.
So Ron says, I would guess Sariputta would make greater merit. Gita says Sariputta also makes more merit. Denise says the Buddha would make more merit because his gift is probably a Dhamma teaching, the best gift of all. Adriana says the Buddha makes more merit, and Gita also says the same. Kumu says neither because they're both arahants. So equal. And those were the answers we have so far.
I think we will wait Sarah to come because she also has to listen to this. So we will continue, and I will get back to that later on. Okay. So we were waiting for you, Sarah. So the answer to the question, actually, this was a real dialogue by the Buddha. And so what happened here? Many people would say, I asked many people about it, they would say Venerable Sariputta would make more merit. Like so many options are there. But it is the Buddha that would make more merit. And this is a visual imaginary thing though. Because why? Because the Buddha is the one who knows everything about the dana, the benefit of it, the value of it, A to Z of everything about the dana. He is the one who knows it. So the Buddha says, when the dayaka knows all these things, his dana becomes much, much more powerful than the receiver. So, yeah, that's the answer to that. So when we give dana, is foremost among the dasa paramita or 6 paramita. Dana paramita comes first, and dana sila bhavana, we have dana first, and dana is the very easy way. I mean, compared to other sila and bhavana, dana is the easier one. Dana, although it is not so easy, still people find it very hard to give something that belongs to them. But it is much more easier compared to others. Sila is more difficult. Bhavana is even more difficult. If you ask for a bhavana retreat, only few people will come. Very few people will come. Maybe if you have a sila program, there will be little more people come. But if you have a dana, so many people will come. We know how this by experience, I know that. Sometimes when I start meditation program, just few people show up. Very few. But most of the dana ceremonies, so many people. They like to give dana. That's easy way. But this is a practice. This is a continuous practice. What happens here, Buddha says, when you give a dana, there are 3 things that you have to be concerned. 1, pubbha cetana, munchana cetana, and apara cetana. Before giving the dana is called pubbha cetana. While giving the dana is called munchana cetana. And after giving the dana is called apara cetana. During these 3 stages, one has to be, again, 3 things. Lobha, dosa, and moha. One has to temporarily suppress lobha, dosa, and moha. And there are stories where people have given the dana and later regret. Oh, why did I spend so much? Yeah, that can happen to people. And then there are some other cases where they get angry with the monks, maybe, it can happen too. It really happens. in real time it can happen. Maybe these monks are more noisy, or these monks are not following these things, and when they see the monks not behaving, so they are actually following up. It's not really giving up. It's really holding more into that. When it comes to giving, you have to give up. You're not going to hold it anymore. You just give up. That's it. There is a beautiful story when Anathapindika offered the Jetavana monastery to the Buddha. I think it's a very valid story, very powerful example for all of us. And so it is said he spent so much of money to buy the land from a man called Jeta. And then he asked, because he desperately wanted this particular land. It was perfectly, ideally matching for the Buddha's monastery. And then he wanted this, and Prince Jeta said, "No, I can't give you. I will do whatever you want. I will give you all the money I have. I have lots of gold. I will spread everywhere in your land." He was like very tempting and very forceful. And then Jeta said, "Okay, spread the gold, whatever you have in the land." And then he actually did it. He brought all the gold coins and spread it. And then there was one small piece of land he could not do that. And then this guy was looking how Anathapindika is so strong and confident in his faithful towards the Buddha. And then he said, "Okay, you couldn't do this thing. What should we do? You give my name to the temple. Title the temple under my name. Okay, I will definitely do that. I have no objection to that." So that's why it was called Jetavanarama. And then he spent so much of money to also build the temple. If you have been to Savatthi Jetavana Monastery, I had the privilege to go there. I felt how Buddha was spending that 20 out of the 45 vasas, he spent there 19 vasas only in Jetavana Monastery. And every time you hear evam me sutang ekang samayang bhagava savatyang viharati jetavane anatha pindikasa arame, that was the temple that Buddha was. Hundreds of suttas, thousands of suttas were preached over there. So I think every nook and corner of that beautiful monastery was touched by the Buddha's footprint. And all those great Arahanta monks, Venerable Sariputta, Venerable Moggallana, Venerable Angulimala, Venerable Ananda, Nanda, Rahula, Sunita, Sopaka, all those wonderful monks were there. We can feel that energy right there when you enter that beautiful place. So he spent so much money to build the temple, and then also he wanted to offer that to the monks, Mahasangha, Buddha Pamukha Mahasangha. And then there were flags, there were like festival like situation. Lots of people were hearing about that. They came to the temple offering ceremony. 2 people came out of those thousands of them. 2 friends were also there. So one friend, he looked at this. Wow, look at that. Look at the decoration. Look at this beautiful ceremony. And look at this wonderful monastery, the complex, monastic complex that Anathapindika has just built up to offer to the Buddha and all those great Mahasangha members. He said, he kept his palms together. He said, "Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu." He was so happy. I remember Ayasoma's word yesterday, Dhamma Sukha. I borrow that word, Dhamma Sukha. That elation, that ecstasy, that jubilation, that rapture, that joy was really overwhelmed in him. And the other one, he also had his hand on his forehead. He said, "Oh, what a fool! What a fool this man spent so much of money on this. Why? He should have kept some money for his children, maybe invested the money, make some property. Why did he wasted some money? He was not happy." Now, both of them did not spend a penny for this wonderful monastic project. And as usual, everyone dies. They all died. So, it is said Venerable Moggallana had the capacity to go to different realms. He would go interview um, different celestial beings in the heavenly realms, and also the other lower realms like Petas and Devas. He would interview. Ayasoma used to interview many people, right? Venerable Moggallana was a wonderful communicator with them. He would go to the celestial realms. He would interview with the Devas. He would ask, "What brought you this way? How did you become such a powerful Deva? Look at your body like a flower, and look at your body. You emanate, radiate that beautiful fragrance. Amazing. We can feel that fragrance like miles apart. How did it happen? What did you make to be a Deva like that?" And then they would say, actually Devas and Pretas, they all had the capacity to remember their past karma. So they would say, when I was a human being, I did such and such good karma, and because of that I became a Deva. And also when he interviewed the Pretas, they also would say, why you are suffering? Look at you, and you look so ugly, you look so horrible, and stinking, and all these things. And then, what bad karma did you do to become like this? And they would confess. They said, I did something like this. I did not allow people to do good things. I stole things. I killed people. I did so many bad things when I was a human. And now I am suffering because of that. So all these stories Venerable Moggallana was sharing with the people in the human realm. That was a wonderful, way to do that. And he had the capacity to do that too. So one day he went to the celestial being world. He saw golden. He saw a silver palace, and then he peeped into that and asked, "Who's there?" And then the other deva said, "It is the Anathapindika's palace." And then he would go to the upper realm, and then he saw a golden palace, and he asked, "What is that? Who is that there?" He said, that person who was saying sadhu sadhu to Anathapindika's offering of the monastery. He's the one who belonged, the owner of that golden palace. So what I mean to say is, it is the intention that matters. If you have a bad intention, you can free of cost do a bad karma or good karma. You can be a part of others' good karma. Sometimes it is very dangerous to judge others' good or bad karma. Just be very careful. And how, like free of course you can go to hell or heaven. We have to be careful about that. So in dana, you have to be really careful how to make our mind very clear. When you give dana, like during the dana time, before the dana time, every time we have to be really very pure. And that's also why it is important you don't talk while offering something. And these noble silence things in our monasteries are really, really very wonderful practices. Why do we have it? Because you don't know what you say, When you don't say, you will at least save that bad karma happening. That's why we keep noble silence. When you say something, you never know. There are 4 things that you can do through your mouth. Musavada, Pisunavacha, Parusavacha, and Sampapalapa. Anything could happen, especially Sampapalapa. Unwanted talks, gossip, all these things can happen while giving the dana. So it's really good that you don't say anything. Keep your mouth zip. Yeah, that's really a very good thing. And also that gives you a chance to talk to yourself. Most of the time we talk, we open our mouth, we talk about others. And maybe you don't talk, you talk to yourself. That soliloquy, that monologue, talk to yourself will be very helpful. And when we open our eyes, we look at the world. You close your eyes, you look into yourself. Same thing. We open our eyes, mouth, talk about the others, and do not talk to yourself. This is important practice in Buddhism, and even in Dana, it is the same. So there are so many things about the Dana just like that. And there are many suttas. Apart from this, there are many suttas that the Buddha was talking about. And I think personally, when we practice dana, it's an amazing feeling when you give dana. Dana is attached to the, giving away. So it is the whole, our sansaric holding is because of our craving, right? Desire. We want this, we want that. We say, this is me, this is my ego, self-esteem, and all these things are just part of our tanha, part of our craving. So dana is one thing that you can subtly attack to that attachment. That's why we give dana. We don't even know that. Intentionally we don't do it. Unintentionally we actually attack the attachment. So whatever we belong to us, we give, share with someone, will help us so much. And it can become a very wonderful habit. Habits are good karma too. If you keep doing karma, that can also, according to karma, there are different karmas like achinna karma, katatta karma, asanna karma, ahosi karma. All these karmas are there. Like achinna karma is something that you continuously do something. Like let's say you offer some dana to this monastery every month, that will become a achinna karma. That will become a habitual karma in you. So you keep doing it, and maybe in your last bed, maybe those things will come to you. That reflection will come to you. Those video clips will be, you will see them. Those things are really important. Oh, I gave a dana to Empty Cloud Monastery every month. You will see that. You will remember those things, and good or bad, you will remember that. So I think it is very important again. So doing good things every time, and also when you offer something, you have generosity, you have compassion, you have loving kindness, you don't have jealousy, you don't have anger, you don't have hypocrisy. You actually, you see how you try to get rid of those defilements in so many ways. In my thesis, I'm working on Mahanidesa Pali. Mahanidesa Pali gives a beautiful explanation about Vattukama and Kilesakama. And Vattukamas are like your property, your slaves, or your everything that belong to you. You think it is mine, me, mine, I, me, mine. So you build up your own ego. And eventually you have to get rid of them because all those things can be taken away by the kings, or swept away by the floods, or something happen with the storm, or whatever, you know. But if you do something good, that will be with you. If you give something, the more you give, the more will follow you. So the wise person, if you want to take something with you in the following births, the best thing is to give away. Then they will follow you. It is said, it is like anugamika nidhana. That's like a treasure, the treasure that follows you, like a shadow that never leaves, according to Dhammapada, a shadow that never leaves. And so it's really, really important to practice this dana, to practice this dana in the right manner. And you don't have to be very rich to practice dana. Even something very simple is good enough. And you see how those two people, they practice dana. They just shared anumodami. One person anumodami in the real true heart, and the other person rejected it. And so even without spending the money, how you can do it, like little bit of maybe charity, maybe helping the community, maybe helping something with a homeless person. Whenever there is an opportunity, practice it, grab that opportunity. And I remember I used to have some changes in our car when we walk, and in the traffic light, one day I saw a man standing. I just gave him $1, and he said, "God bless you." I was so touched by that. It was the first time I heard God bless you. Because we most of the time we hear Buddha bless you. And I felt so good in my heart. That's the way he blessed me. And also it is said sometimes the devas, king of deva called Sakka, sometimes he would come in disguise to testify people. Whether he's stingy or whether he's generous, whether he's kind-hearted. Sometimes those homeless people, you never know, and don't underestimate them. They might be angels in disguise. So if there is someone, just that will be an opportunity for you. You never know, the next moment you will regret of not being able to give something to that person. So it's always better to give something if you have. And also it also gives us so much peace and happiness. And also it is important for all of us to practice and help the people, help the poor, help the needy people in whatever capacity. You can share the knowledge, you can give the Dhamma. I felt like sometime I see in the internet, this meditation is like this much, they give price tag. I was like, what? Meditation is so expensive. It should be all free of cost. And people don't even want to offer that for free. I think if you give it for free, maybe if people give some donation, that's fine, right? But why should you have like a price tag to that? I don't think it's a good idea. Like if you truly practice, just do it for free, and the donation or whatever will come on your way. I think that should be the way, especially if you practice Buddhism. If you practice meditation or dana or something, just be free. That will be really, really good. And yes, so I think with that, I would like to conclude. There are so many things to discuss. Maybe if we have some questions.
Annamayang Dhammakataya Sadhukarang Dadamase Sadhu 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 Anumodami Bhante Sumitta for sharing those words of Dhamma with us. And we have some time for a couple of questions. If anyone has any, feel free to type them in. In the meantime, perhaps there's one from the in-person audience.
We're all experiencing Dhamma Sukha and Bhante in a few moments.
Mm-hmm.
I think next we need to ask you to give some talks on karma. Because when you spoke about the 4 kinds of karma, I thought I want to hear more on that topic.
Sure.
But that's going to have to wait for next time.
Yeah.
The next visit.
Oh, we will have. Maybe we can do it.
I looked that up. That was a different set of 4.
So we do have a question from Denise, who says, do acts of kindness count as dana? I found someone's birth certificate and other documents on the train platform, and I mailed it back to them this morning. Does that count?
Yeah, I think it is, right? So you spend some money, you spend some time, and your good intention is all that matters. So even a very simple gesture of kindness can be like, let's say, like you see someone who is blind and trying to walk the street, maybe you can go help that person. Or if you like, someone may be homeless, or someone who is elderly, who wants to, do a little bit of help. They all can be translated into a dana. Dana can be many. It's not like giving money. It's not like only giving food. Dhamma dana is the best dana. Sabba danang dhamma danang jinati. The gift of Dhamma excels all other gifts. So sharing something with the other. That's why I say, when you share the Dhamma, don't share it for money. Just do it for free. That will become much more powerful. Yeah.
And there's lots of comments saying, what a great Dana teaching, sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. And Gita says, it's true, Aya, we are experiencing Dhamma Sukha.
I have a question, though, unless there's something online. So Bhante, I was wondering, when you were, aside from the fact that, as you mentioned, some people prefer to practice dana because it feels good in comparison to sila or bhavana. But you were also mentioning at the very beginning how it's how the Buddha was only giving sort of certain teachings when the mind was ready and primed. So would it be, I guess my question is it even possible for someone to practice bhavana if they haven't got dana, if not well developed, at least like basic developed?
I think that's a good question, especially in the Western context. People here like meditation, and people in the Asia, they like dana. So I personally think, okay, if you like meditation, go ahead and do it. But eventually you will come to dana, because the more you practice it, just like now people have yoga, they go to fitness centers and learn yoga, and eventually you will see, oh, yoga is much beyond that. And maybe you will come to even to meditation in Buddhism. And some people have been introduced to Buddhism like that, if they are lucky enough, if their mind is ready, yes. And so loving kindness, compassion, generosity, they are really integral part of our spiritual practice. And generosity should definitely be a beacon of light unto all of us. And that will show us the path to sila, virtuous morality. And then morality will lead us to all the heavenly, all those beautiful path that follows. Yeah. If someone says, if someone says, okay, I want to practice meditation, just let them do that. Maybe we will give that person an opportunity. It will be like a bypass, but eventually they will have to come back to the dana as well. So let them practice it and feel the good energy from whichever point they find. That will be okay. This is my suggestion.
And we have 2 more questions online. So one is from Joy, who says, can merit from dana be shared or transferred to other beings?
Yes, why not? Like when I say, may you be well and happy and healthy, how do you feel? You feel Dhamma Sukha? You feel so happy, right? So that's what I'm transferring merit to you. So it can generate powerful karma, and that can eventually be shared with all the other sentient beings too. Seen and unseen, remember. And every time we do a good karma, I think we should be generous, we should be kind to share that merit with all sentient beings. That will be a real good, again, practice of dana. And sometimes it has happened. I'll tell you a story. I don't know if we have time. So King Bimbisara's case. Bimbisara was I think he is the first one to offer a monastery to the Buddha. He offered the bamboo grove, Veluvanarama, and when he did that, the following day, he had a nightmare. He could not sleep. He was haunted in the dreams. And it is said he was very upset. I did such a good karma today and I could not sleep. Why? He was very upset about that. He went to the Buddha the following day, asked, what happened? I could not sleep last night. And then he actually said, these are some of your old relatives, eons ago. They did some bad karma. They were suffering in the hell realm, and they were waiting for someone to transfer merits to. And they could not find anyone. They saw you, but they had to wait for you to become a Buddhist, to follower of the Buddha. And then only they could, communicate with you. Without that, they wouldn't disturb you. So now the Buddha said, go ahead and do some good karma, generosity, and share that merit with them. That's how actually it started with. He offered dana and also shared the merit with the other sentient beings. Remember, not everyone can receive the merit. Maybe some very, very difficult realms hell realms are there. They won't be able to receive any merit. But there are certain petas called paradatta upajivi. Paradatta upajivi. They depend on others' merits. So they are able to receive this merit. Whether they receive it or not, it is our duty, our moral duty to share the merit. Sometimes, let's say now we are doing this good karma, and when we are doing together, and maybe some other spirits, they will be looking at what are these guys doing here. Why not I peep into this? And then maybe if we share this merit, may all sentient beings be well, happy and healthy. Maybe they will say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. They might be able to receive the merit, and they will happy, and they will be blessing you too. Yeah, like in the what is that sutta? There is a beautiful sutta that talks about these merits. How I will get it. I will get the name of the sutta soon. We can share the merit with the others. It's about psychological powers. Everything is about that. We can share that merit with living beings and also departed ones.
And the last question is from Amir, who asks, does giving money to someone who you think is a drug user still create merit?
So before that, the name of the sutta is Tirokuddha Sutta. Yeah. So listen, now you give something to a drug addict, and if you think I'm giving this to someone who needs the money and someone who wants it, and that's, you just give it and don't follow it up. This is the problem we have. So we give and follow. We look at that person. What's he doing with that money? Whether he's using it to buy some drugs or smoke, that's not your duty. You just gave it up, and you're not supposed to follow it up with that. It's not like giving it up. This is a big problem. Like many people I know, like some say, my parents gave thousands of dollars to this monastery, so it's like our monastery. They are just holding so tight. You're not giving it up. You're not letting it go. That's not the real way. Whether that person takes drug or not, it's not our concern. We just do it out of compassion, out of generosity. So much the better for us. Maybe that person will think, oh, this person was so kind to me. Maybe he had some good karma. Maybe his eyes will be open. Sometimes not. I know some in Sri Lanka, for example, the homeless people, we use public transport, and a lot of people like beggars, they come, and then we give some money to them. And sometimes I remember there was one monk, he is doing amazing things. Sometimes he keep money waiting for someone to surprise. One day, an elderly mother came asking for money, and the monk gave him like 100 rupees, 200 rupees. Okay, come here. He gave 100 rupees, 200 rupees, 300 rupees, 400 rupees. He gave 1,000 rupees. It's hardly anyone would give 1,000 rupees to a beggar like that. They would mostly give like 10 rupees or 20 rupees, something. Okay. This monk gave 1,000. That mother was so, she had no word to say. It was in short of words to express her gratitude. She went away immediately. She didn't want to beg anymore after that. She was so happy. How we can bring some peace and happiness to someone, that can be really amazing. There was one monk I know, in our countries we use hand to eat. And when he washes his hands, he was also thinking of other sentient beings. May this food be helpful to some living beings. That's just somebody else offered you food, and you just ate your food, and you also still thinking those little remaining food particles, may they be helpful to someone's life. That is the most important thing, the intention that matters.
Thank you, Bhante. And that's all the questions we have time for tonight. But if you have lingering questions online, bring them to Monk Chat tomorrow evening, where you can ask questions about tonight's talk, but also any others from this week or any questions related to Buddhist practice. And we'll answer them then at 7:30 p.m. But for now, we can end with 3 sadhus. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. And enjoy.
Let us share the merits.
Oh, yes, sure.
So thank you everyone for joining us today's Dhamma talk on Dana Katha. I hope you learned something, and may this Dhamma talk be helpful to all of you. And by the power of this wonderful merit that we generated, may all sentient beings, may our departed ones, please think of your departed parents, your siblings, or anyone in your family, loved ones, whosoever in your family. Please think of them. Please be kind and compassionate and generous to them. And think of all the sentient beings in the world too. Think of all the heavenly beings too, celestial beings. If someone is ready to share the merit, receive the merit, may they be able to share this merit, receive this merit, and be well, happy, healthy, safe wherever they are. May they attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Thinking thus, please say, Sadhu, Sadhu, Sadhu. Also, let us also not forget about all the COVID-19 victims around the world. Whosoever suffering because of COVID, let us also invoke blessings upon all of them. I also would like to invoke blessings upon everyone who was attending this Dhamma talk, and especially the Mahasangha members, and also the devotees and friends and relatives of all this wonderful community, Empty Cloud Monastery and the community. May all of you be well, happy and healthy. May the Noble Triple Gem bless you, help you, guide you towards the right path. May all Devas and Brahmas and all celestial beings help you, bless you, guide you. May all the wonderful Kalyana Mitta friends bless you, help you, protect you, and guide you towards the right path. May you always be able to associate with the Dhamma. May all of us, may all of them, all sentient beings, seen and unseen, be able to achieve the supreme bliss of Nibbana, the absolute peace and happiness at the end of our samsara. Thinking thus, please keep your palms together close to your heart and say 3 times, Sadhu, Sadhu, Sadhu. Let us recite these Pali chantings. Ettavataචamhehi sambhatang punya sampadang sabbe deva anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Ettavataචamhehi sambhatang punya sampadang sabbe bhutanumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Ettavataචamhehi sambhatang punya sampadang sabbe sattanumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Idang me ñātinang hotu sukheta hontu ñātayo. Idang me ñātinang hotu sukheta hontu ñātayo. Idam me ñātinang hotu sukheta hontu ñātayo. Imina punya kammena mame bala samagamo satang samagamo hotu yava nibbana pattiya. Idang me punyang asavakkaya vahang hotu sabba dukkha pamuncatu sabba bhaya pamuncatu sabba roga pamuncatu. Abhivadana sirisa niccang vaddha pacayino cattaro dhamma vaddhanti ayuvanno sukhang balang ayurarogya sampatti sagga sampatti mevaca ato nibbana sampatti iminate samijjatu. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.